Okay, so it's my time now. We are in the final segment of the podcast. I call it Beneath the Accent. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence or however you feel like. The idea
Okay.
is just to know more about you. Just a quick rapid fire sort of a thing.
Okay.
The classic question: what advice would you give to your younger self and at what age?
By the age 16, I would say get out of your country as soon as possible.
Okay. Describe a moment when you experienced a significant cultural difference that surprised you.
There's a lot, but what comes to my mind is the first time I was in Malawi and I had to eat without fork and knife. I eat with my hands.
Mm.
And
Ah,
we
okay.
see like there is a process of people washing their hands and this and that, and
Yeah.
how good they are eating with hand. They don't mess like a baby. So when they saw me eating, they saw you eat like a baby. Yeah, it was very hard. I never in my life it's okay. I had to eat with my hands. So yeah, that's a cultural shock.
Okay, I love that. What's this one dish from your home country that always brings you comfort and nostalgia?
It's very cliche, but I would say feijoada. That's the main
Okay.
dish in Brazil. That's beans with pork and
Okay.
cooking the specific way. And this dish is served every Wednesday and Saturday. There's
Hmm.
days for it, and it's very heavy, but brings me like the flavor or the memories that I then when I eat this with my friends. So I would say feijoada.
Okay.
And by the way, this is like 90% of the answers of all Brazilians. So there's nothing new on that.
Okay. When you say it's served every Wednesday, Thursday, where it is served?
In restaurants, so it's the dish like
Okay.
it's like the main dish of the day. So you go there, there's some options, but the
Hmm.
main dish is feijoada, Wednesday and Saturday.
Okay. Is there any funny story that you remember regarding the misunderstanding around the accent or English?
Not due to my accent, but I remember when I was in Malawi, the kids there, they try to communicate with you in English any
Okay.
way possible, and they have some like follow like a script in how to get to talk to you, and like how are you doing? I'm fine, and you. So, and I sometimes they forget the sequence, and I countless time one kid approached me and said, "I'm fine." Like they skip like, how are you doing? I'm good. How about you? I'm fine. So they skipped it. So they start the conversation like, I'm fine. And I said, okay, that's good. I'm fine too. So it's not because of the accent, but
Okay.
was a good way, like how they structured the dialogue in their heads, and when they change the positions, it's end up in being a totally different conversation.
Hmm. That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite cultural festival or celebration in Canada? And how do you usually celebrate it?
Not really, because this is
Mm.
actually one thing that I was thinking about today. That I came here, I live here 1 year and a half, but it's
Hmm.
all about working and try to solve life here. And I didn't have much time to really experience the life here, like to travel.
Okay.
I just went to Quebec one day, like some weekends, but I would say Halloween, because in Brazil the
Okay.
Halloween culture is not that much. This is
Hmm.
starting, but was the first time that I really see Halloween, like kids on the streets asking for candies, and people like I went to the metro, that the supermarket here, and
Hmm.
I enter and I see I saw Harry Potter. Like, oh my god! But it was like a employer the place, and then I realized, okay, the cashiers, everyone is disguised, and that for me was like, even though it's not very Canadian, I think it starts in the United States or England, I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
Halloween was for me was the first like cultural celebration that took me like, okay, that's very nice, and it was the
Hmm.
first time that I disguised myself, first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was very meaningful.
Okay. What's that one Brazilian habit that you refuse to let go of, no matter where you live?
Shower 2 times a day.
Really?
Yeah. shower in the morning, shower at night, and I try to sleep without showering. It's not possible. I have to take 2 showers every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes you don't need it because you stay at home the whole day. You already showered, but there's something in my mind that before I go to sleep, go to bed, I need to shower again. So 2 showers,
Okay.
take 2 showers a day.
Interesting. If your life were a movie, what title would it be?
Wow.
How about Life Beyond Borders?
Life beyond borders, but I was about to think about one like I would say the only chance,
Hmm.
because I see life as one chance. We have one chance
Absolutely.
to do things here. That was drive me because like life can end any second, and as far as we know, it's just one chance. If we had more lives,
Hmm.
we'd be great, but
Hmm.
I live life as just one chance. So you get into the stage, you have one chance, it's just one opportunity. After that, it's over. So I will say one chance.
Hmm. Okay. It could also be the word that you taught us.
I would say in Portuguese, segue o
Mhm.
jogo. It's literally
Okay.
keep playing.
It could
Keep
be
playing
that also.
exactly, like it's related with that because keep
Yeah.
playing. It's just your chances now. Life will end up.
Yeah.
And if you don't take advantage of this chance, it's the only one.
Tell us about the first friend that you made in Canada.
It's Roshan. It's Roshan. It's he's Canadian, but his parents are from India,
Yeah.
and it's a very nice guy. We end up like a route, like the organizer of that event
Hmm.
introduced us in a cooking event,
Okay.
and he's a very nice guy. Like that I even told him. I think here he came to my home Saturday, and he left me one note
Oh, nice.
like thank you, and he wrote some words for me. Like
Oh.
it was the first time I said okay. It was a long time ago before I made a new friend. So I would say
Hmm.
Roshan. It's a good friend. It's a first
Oh,
friend here
wow.
in Canada. Yeah.
I love that. And what's the one thing Canada does better than Brazil, and one thing that Brazil will always do better?
Okay. I would say Canada in general. I will not say people, but the government. I don't say they take good care of the public spaces. So
Okay.
when you go to parks, the grass is always clean. There's by the river, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of green spaces. So
Hmm.
you don't feel. Of course, in downtown you can feel a little bit overwhelmed, but there's always a
Hmm.
park nearby, some trees. So I think they some way they organize the city that you can always have
Hmm.
some nature around you. So for
Okay.
me, it's better. What Brazil do better, I would say, strangely enough, at least in São Paulo, where I was born, the
Hmm.
metro and the train are much better than here.
Really?
Much
Okay.
better. This is something that
Hmm.
even for us from Brazil, from São Paulo, we cannot understand how everything around is a mess, but the metro, it's very safe, it's
Okay.
very clean, and there's a lot of options for you to go anywhere on city.
Hmm.
So totally a different experience. So Brazil
Hmm.
I would say São Paulo do better than Canada on metro and public transportation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good. Interesting to know. Is this something you ate for the first time in Canada? And did you like it?
Yeah. What is the name of that dish, Indian dish with silver?
Oh, that one. That's the barfi.
But okay, this was the first time.
Oh,
Even though
okay.
it's not from Canada, it was the first time here, and it's delicious. It's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. And if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Travel back in time.
Hmm.
Travel back
Okay.
in time for
You
me.
are really obsessed with traveling back in
Yeah,
time. And you
because
asked me also to go
yeah,
back.
no, I'm obsessed with this because the, the 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 possibility for you to witness what happened, what really happens, because there's some part of our history
Hmm.
you will never know.
Hmm.
Like it's totally mysterious. We guess with some samples or this and that, but the opportunity to go back and witness something like the moment, like I always imagine like that, and even going to the future. For example, this week,
Hmm.
last week, I had two possibilities with my company, to take this project or not take this project. And I think it would be very nice if I could travel in future and see what is going to happen if I take this place, or is going to happen if I take this place. Like
Hmm.
time travel would solve all the problems, but it's impossible. So I would say time
Yeah.
travel.
If you could describe yourself as any creature, what would it be?
I would say a wolf,
Hmm. Okay.
a wolf that can work, that can live in small societies at the same time. It's open to look
Hmm.
around. There's a very nice image of a group, a pack of wolves. How the leader walks here and the females walk
Yeah.
here and that. So there's a structure in wolf, and also there's a very nice book called The Call of the Wild. They made a movie some years ago with Harrison Ford. There's one
Hmm.
story about one dog. It's the point of view of a dog,
Okay.
and how he get in contact with his wild nature is a true wolf. So it's a very nice book. So The Call of the Wild is
Interesting.
Jack something. I don't remember the author, but there's a movie. So that image of the wolf and how they get connect for the instinct. So that's why I would choose wolf.
Lastly, how do you describe Canada in one word or a sentence?
I would say possibilities.
Hmm. Okay.
Possibilities, because at least I came with this mind that I can reinvent myself. There's a lot of tools and possibilities to grow, because it's multicultural. You see people from different backgrounds. It's relatively safe for me. It's safe.
Hmm.
The people who disagree with me, no, it's not safe, but it's safe and gives you a lot of possibilities. So I would say possibilities.
And Rafael, if you could leave me with one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh my God, you are asking for the coach that no one asks the opinion. Revise or revisit the stories that you have in your mind regularly. Like,
Hmm.
because at the end, we have a bunch of stories in our mind that drive us through life. And also, there's this
Hmm.
theory that's very interesting, that stories are beings, they are alive, and the way they
Hmm.
multiply is by getting different heads, different
Hmm.
brains, and that brain, that person, pass the story over to others. So you can think religion like this, social politic position. It's a story that is multiplying itself by people. So the thing is, some of the stories we have in our mind we didn't choose. Well, was planted by
Hmm.
the culture, by the country, by our parents. So there's these truths we have in our mind that, no, this is truth, this is how life works, and this and that, maybe it's just a story. So sometimes you have
Hmm.
to revisit your mind and check if these stories make sense. There's a very nice book called mental immunity. They call
Okay.
ideas
Hmm.
like
Interesting.
parasite ideas. So there's some ideas that is like parasites. They get into your brain, they block other ideas to come in, and they allow
Hmm.
some fear, like some similar ideas, to get inside. So like you see people who have this religion, we have this social, this political view, and you accept this kind of people is because it's just one idea that is accepting disorder and blocking others. So the
I
ideas
see.
are fighting one against other to see I will get this human being and I will get this brain. So
Hmm.
we are just tools. The stories are using us to multiply. So revisit the stories and check if they make sense or not. It's very long answer, but
Wow.
revisit your stories.
Very, very fascinating. That does make
Yeah,
sense to me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And lastly, Rafael, how would you describe your experience being on the podcast today?
Very meaningful, very meaningful, because you give some inputs that I only by speaking that we can have. For example, when you said,
Hmm.
okay, that maybe that's why you left your country, because you see these dead bodies and this. I never thought about that. So I would
Hmm.
say very meaningful. Like by telling me my story and you giving some inputs can really that thing that I said, that sometimes someone can drop you one phrase on word that it completely
Yeah.
change the course of your life. So I would say very meaningful. Thank you for your input in to give me this opportunity to be here.
No, thank you for being so open and sharing all everything that you can with
Yeah.
me and the audience. So thank you for being on the podcast and adding value to me and to my listeners. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.